But you good?
I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good. Yeah, I got some food in my system.
Energized.
Yeah, so welcome, guys. Welcome back to another episode of After Work Podcast with me, Lee, and this is Kensy. And so today I think I'm more curious about traditional weddings because you're going to a wedding soon. Your dad's
Yes.
getting remarried.
Yes,
And
dad's
you
getting
said, you
remarried.
told me he's having a traditional.
So he's gonna have a traditional wedding, and then he's gonna have what we call a white wedding.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 days later.
Is the white wedding like the Western weddings?
Yes. The white dress and the suits and,
then-
the church building, and the traditional one is kind of just our own way of recognizing like a union.
Yeah. And
Like,
is it
culturally.
like the reception or not even?
What for the traditional one?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it depends on your culture, but for the most part, I don't think it varies too much. There are things that happen, and like across like what we do, like we have, like I wouldn't really call it like we have a wedding, right? But like there are several things that happen leading up to the wedding.
Did your
Like
dad do the whole Lobola thing? Was
So-
that part of the Zulu culture?
it's African cultures. Well, like I would say
Okay.
South Africans do that. Like
Maybe
across.
explain Lobola a little bit.
So that's kind of just more of a, I mean, Westerners or everyone else will kind of know it as a dowry. It's pretty much the exact same concept.
Except from the guy's side to the
Yes, now it's from the guy side to the female side. Spans probably, I'm not sure if I'd say hundreds of years, maybe. Yeah, an incredibly. I'm not sure what they were doing 200 years ago, but they were probably doing something similar. I'm not sure if they would have called it the same name, especially in the Zulu culture. But basically, some people would see it as what you're paying for your bride, or you're paying the family just for you to be able to marry this person. But it's actually supposed to be. Initially, people now believe that its initial purpose is actually supposed to be like it's actually supposed to bring the families together. So it's supposed to like encourage kind of like more interactions amongst the families and like fostering future relationships. But so what happens is you're not actually supposed to, or maybe some people do, from what I've heard, you're not actually supposed to pay the whole thing at once. Some people might take offense to you paying the whole thing at once. It's supposed to be not in bits and pieces, but like, yeah, maybe, I don't know how many installments or whatever, but like each one, you can have like a function for it and stuff like that, and it basically creates relations between the families.
Okay.
So like that's how it's supposed to foster, like promote, like they get to know you better and everything. Like you guys, you're presenting yourselves to them, and you're kind of actually growing as a family as opposed to just it being like a transaction. But I think that nowadays people see it quite differently, and people feel that it has been abused, and perhaps the purpose has been, I don't know, elongated in some ways. And yeah, it doesn't perhaps hold its initial purpose. So there's still obviously the payment side of things, but people feel like they're being exploited, you put it that way.
I see.
So like, families just see this as like an opportunity to get an incredible payday.
Yeah.
And fathers asking for like unbelievable sums of money for their daughters. You're hearing of stories of daughters actually giving the guy money to pay the father and stuff like that under the table and stuff like that. And it's complicated. I think once people begin to, I wouldn't even say pervert. Pervert's a strong word. Deviate from what people had intended for it to be in the past, it ends up creating also that like mentality amongst people that maybe this is a purchase. But then also with it comes some really interesting expectations, because once it is paid, like some people might see it like probably like as a purchase, and if I purchase something, I own something. And as much as I understand that like I don't own a human being, I perhaps own a lot of control over a human being, or I've got way more say in certain things because I paid for this human being, or I paid to be in this relationship. Like I paid for the right to be able to do certain things. Let me put it that way. That's probably like a better way to say it, as opposed to you and your partner, or you and your wife, as opposed to like like the mutual respect and understanding like your roles culturally as well.
Okay.
And like letting that also define or like take its role in your relationship. You kind of just like, hey, you know what? Well, there was a transaction that was made here, and I will get my way because the transaction went through.
Yeah.
Type of thing, as opposed to just actually having a relationship. So yeah, it gets complicated, man, and it gets complicated. Some families, I mean, you could have some issues with your husband, And technically, because lobola was paid, you can go home to your family if you're like, Lee, I'm leaving you. But you're not divorcing. You're just like, I'm leaving you. I'm going to go stay at my mom's place because I have enough of you right now.
1 minute. Wow, the sun.
There you go. I'll lean
Oh,
over like
shit.
this.
Oh, there you go. Thanks,
So,
Andy.
so they can be like, you know, I've had enough of you or whatever, or I'm just leaving because I'm frustrated about something or whatever. So ordinarily, somebody will be able to just go back to their parents' house and be like, oh, can I just be here for a few days? Me and so need to sort some things out or whatever. And they would kind of welcome you back. But it would be like you can't be here for long because you're not supposed to be here type thing. So like for example, like my father isn't interested in asking for like lobola for my sister. He wants her, if she ever has any issues in her life for whatever reason, to feel like she can come home whenever she wants, without it like feeling like, you know, oh, this whole massive thing happened and now I have to sort this out, I have to stick it through and what. If she wants to go home for whatever reason, she can, and my dad will be happy to take her back.
And you, like, if you ever get married, do you ever plan on like doing lobola with your significant other?
Culturally, for me, I personally, I don't particularly see it as, I guess, the same way other people would have seen it, in the sense that like the fostering and building relationships thing. I think that I've just heard too many cases, and obviously it's within my best interest to also view things in this perspective because it saves me a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I guess you could say that because I'm a guy, I'm the one that would pay, I'm more inclined to take the stories where it didn't work out, or the bad situations or the bad perspectives where someone or parents, people saw it as like a way to exploit you. Like for me to see that and be like, okay, well, that's the reason why I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it either way.
Yeah.
But for me, it would just be because,
It's more like your personal beliefs.
it's kind of just like this is my culture. And it's just, it just saves a lot of trouble down the line.
Yeah.
In terms of like your significant other being recognized within your family as like a proper bride.
Okay.
Because that also causes issues. Like if someone didn't come into the family the right way or the traditional way, you might be married, yes, but the way she could be perceived amongst all the other brides in the family who did go through the traditional way that we usually do, they might not see it that way. They might be like, okay, cool, you're married, but like you're one of us technically on paper, but you're not really one of us. Like you didn't,
You're not accepted into the tribe.
Yeah, they'll still interact with you and everything, but some people might be weird with you, and some families might be like that. I would just prefer to avoid everything for my future spouse and just do it, so that no one can say that, like, no one can be mean or funny into them and be like, well, you're a bride, but you're not a proper bride because like you weren't paid for, type thing. So I'd rather just do it and just save all the trouble, personally.
Okay.
That's a very long explanation for what lobola is, and I kind of just explained a few dynamics there and some touchy subjects. But I'm sure it's more than enough for anyone there to run with.
And then, like, after lobola, the wedding itself, is it just like a feast, or what do you guys actually do? Like, what do you guys do different? Do you have traditional wear?
Yes, traditional wear. There's a whole bunch of gift giving, and they're just like different processes and things that take place. And I think it involves way more family. I'll put it that way. Okay. Like I would say, like a Western wedding is, there's the bride's father that is involved, walks her down, and then the groom is chilling, waiting over there. They're like the center of attention. They will get married, and then in the reception, the family might be, some speeches and stuff like that, and someone might be able to, sister might say a speech here and there.
Yeah, that's the Western wedding. That's the white wedding.
But I think with the traditional weddings, like there'll be like a bit more, like they would incorporate a little bit more. So like even before then, like the engagement party and stuff like that happens. Your parents would be recognized and stuff like that. What do you mean by
recognized? Like,
so they would also like, it wouldn't just be like, for example, the lady that was going to be married soon, that's like being recognized in the traditional weddings, like being like the center of attention. So the parents also have an opportunity to be the ones that are like given recognition within the wedding as well. So it includes quite a few more people. So if you've got siblings as well, they might be involved in a way and stuff like that. And it's not a two-man show. It's quite a bigger show.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say it's more inclusive than say, Western weddings are exclusive. Like they don't. I don't think they exclude anyone. I think they've got their own way of doing things.
I think like those white weddings are a very modern thing,
Mm.
and it's very individualistic.
Yes.
Because even like Chinese weddings is kind of like very more like community based,
Mm.
and I'm assuming same with your tradition.
Yeah. I mean, ours end up being quite a big deal. Yeah, a lot of people get involved, and
Is there
there's
any rituals you can share, or like how things are different? Like, what's like the ceremony parts, or are you
So-
allowed to share anything? Or
yeah.
is it
I mean,
just-
we are allowed to. I don't know too much about it because I mean,
have you
last
been to any
the
traditional
last
weddings?
traditional wedding I would have witnessed was my uncle's one. I must have been like 6 years old or 7.
We should actually have this podcast way afterwards then.
So, but yeah, but I. So let me put it this way. I also, from my uncle's wedding, I also got gifts. Let me put it that way.
Oh, cool.
So it's not just like the bride and the groom that get gifts. Like everyone in the family pretty much get gifts. Like you can decide how far you want to extend it. So if you just want it to be like your immediate family, sure you can, but it's uncommon. But like I was a nephew and I got a gift. Like I got like a mat, I got a blanket, I got an umbrella, and I don't know what else I got. But so yeah, so that's why I said there's like a lot more gift giving and it includes way more people. And that's also another part that people have having like it's become like a point of contention nowadays as well, because I feel that cause it's not really about the gift giving. I forgot which side it is, whether it's the groom side or the bride side. You actually give the other family a list of gifts that they have to buy.
like wedding register.
It's like a wedding register before the wedding register, because you're still going to have the white wedding that has its own
Okay.
register.
I see.
But I think you might be able to transfer those gifts over. I'm not really sure. But like some families, so let's say, let's say you're getting married. I'm your cousin, right? I'm not even like your brother or whatever. I'm your cousin, and you're submitting a list or whatever to this other family that that they're going to marry into yours. Like you have some people in the families asking for things like, because you can literally just ask for things. Like some people who aren't even the ones getting married will ask for like a fridge
Damn.
and stuff like that, or like a washing machine.
And if they don't get it, is it like then like
Well, I think you're supposed to do your best to get as many gifts as possible on the list. I'm not exactly sure how complicated things get if you don't get everything. But yeah, but you can see like when I'm talking about like people are like, there was obviously like a purpose when these processes were first put in place, and there was a reason for all of this, and then over time people might have taken advantage of these processes that we've had to kind of take it a bit over the edge, because you're not the one getting married. Like you shouldn't be asking for a washing machine or a fridge.
yeah, that's crazy.
You're not even like in the immediate family. Just take something small as a gift, as a thank you, or
Yeah.
I don't know, ask for a jersey or what.
So like in the East Asian, I know specifically Chinese tradition with our weddings, it's the groom will offer the mother-in-law to be like a bunch of gifts, and in turn the mother-in-law will distribute the gifts to all her invitees who wants to come to the wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and basically, the more gifts you give the mother-in-law, it's like the more you show her that you can take care of her daughter.
So it's a lot of gifts that you give
Yeah.
her.
And so, and eventually, tradition changes after a while. So eventually, like now, you literally give the mother-in-law like biscuits or like pastries, and like you get these very specific like wedding pastries you have to buy.
Okay.
And then you basically buy a lot of it for the mother-in-law, and then basically the amount you give the mother-in-law is the amount of like invitees she can like bring to the wedding. Yeah, so that's one of the
Okay, the evolution.
yeah. So initially it will be similar to like the gift giving. It's like you buy a lot of different gifts, but eventually got just somehow became like biscuits of foods and commercialized a little bit.
Okay, I
To
see.
these like wedding specific these wedding biscuits.
People make some cash off of it.
Yeah.
So for like this, I guess it's similar with us. I mean, I'm sure in some places, like I think the sun has moved. I think for us in some places, like it probably is still cows and stuff. Like what it could be like,
Yeah.
say perhaps an untouched woman. I don't know, might be like 12 to 15 cows,
Yeah.
or maybe let's say untouched. A woman that's perceived to be of high value. She's
Yeah.
educated and she's working and she can provide for herself. Might be a lot of cows, as opposed to someone who is on the exact opposite side of that. And obviously, if you have a kid, then it's different. It's
Yeah.
not as many cows and all that stuff. But I think now, like some families just don't really care about the cows.
Yeah.
Like they just like would attach like a monetary value to the cows.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's universal, but they'll just be like, okay, well, my daughter will be worth this much, and then it's like a cash amount.
I actually had a friend who was telling me about his story because he actually told me like he had to go to like Joburg to go negotiate on behalf of his cousin.
Yeah.
Because apparently like the cousin, like the groom himself is not allowed to negotiate.
He's not even allowed to step into the yard.
Yeah. So apparently, so my friend went with like the.
Should be like the brother usually and the father and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
but it was basically just my friend and then his cousin's like brother. So it was just two of them. I think because they had the money.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were there negotiating because I don't think anyone else in the family had much money. So then they went to do the negotiations, and then one thing like they knew beforehand was that the reason that they were getting married is the groom got the bride pregnant before like the wedding.
Okay.
And then they were hoping that things were kept hush hush, but then they were hoping that the family didn't know about it. So they're busy doing the negotiations, and they was about to make the final like offer. Then like the dad goes like, "But damn, you have like you broke the goods."
Oh, there is a penalty you pay.
Yeah, and then so basically what they expected to pay, eventually they got a curveball and went even a higher amount. And then he said he was kind of like irritated about it because like you caught off guard.
There definitely is a penalty. You know, actually, that thing gets interesting. So the whole negotiation thing.
Yeah.
So basically, you show up at their yard, right, or their house, or wherever they stay, and you actually aren't allowed to. So to say, okay, you show up at their place. You're not allowed to enter the yard, right?
Yeah.
Even if like.
But yeah, apparently you go there as well. You just stand outside.
Stand outside,
and
and
the
you,
negotiation
like,
goes well.
show.
You're allowed to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
cutting you off.
Oh no! It's like in like your people like shouts and like, they call to them and stuff like that and all that. And let's say you want to marry a lady and your brother and your parents and your cousins, they go to some lady's house. They'll stand by the gate and they'll be shouting and stuff like that. But not like hooligans, but like, just like announcing their arrival and like, wanting to be invited in. And the lady's family is like, they're not obligated to open the gates. Even if they want, like they definitely want to get married, like they can just mess with you as much as they want. Like they can literally open the window and see, okay, you're there. And they could just carry on doing their washing, cook a meal, speak to whoever they want to speak to, chill. You could be there for hours. If they want to play that card, just to be like, we can do this if we want to.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how sensible people are just generally. So they can do that, and then when you're invited in, so that's just phase one, right? In this phase two, they call it vulumlom. Basically, it's like a
Say that again.
vulumlom.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
So
try
it's
that.
like a, like the direct translation is like basically like open your mouth, or like it's basically supposed to be I wouldn't say you're bribing them, but you are paying for them to enter into a discussion with you. Maybe that's a better way to phrase it. So like they will invite you in and you can also sit at the table and everything, and they will just be quiet. They will just be like absolutely quiet, and no one will say anything on their side up until like you might put a few 100 rands down or some cash or
who pays this? The groom himself.
Yeah.
That's when the groom enters the.
So like
house.
when the groom's family enters to negotiate.
Oh, the groom's family.
Yeah.
But the groom is still outside.
I'm not even sure if he's even allowed to be there actually. In some
I
cases.
heard some cases are not. I heard some cases he's allowed to, but he's not allowed to like enter like the threshold. He's allowed to be in the public space on the streets.
Oh, okay,
But he's
maybe just
not-
to be there, just to.
Yeah, just like and if the negotiations go well, then he can come in to like meet the bride.
Okay.
That's some things I heard, but sometimes I also heard like they're not. So in terms of my friend, the story I heard was the groom cousin was just outside, literally on the streets, and he like was just sitting on the street and couldn't go in.
just waiting around to see how much he's gonna pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is different amongst different families.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
you might put down like some really expensive bottles of alcohol, and you might even put down a few, for example. And you're just gonna have to keep paying up until they like. If they don't like what they see, no one's gonna say anything. They're just gonna keep quiet and just sit there. And then eventually, like when they do get to a point where like they're happy with what they see, they'll acknowledge you as if like nothing ever happened. Like, oh hey, how's it going? And then like you guys can actually start your negotiations and everything. Then the real game starts, and that game gets complicated. You know, some people actually they don't even end up getting married because of the negotiations. They just they couldn't reach a number that they agreed on, and then they just walked away from everything.
Yeah.
So it gets so complicated. So like you see that there's parts why like sometimes the ladies do give guys if they know that like their dad is really just gonna be.
But the amount of money they asked for, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, Dumoulin Kuna paid I think he paid R1 million for his wife.
Insane. Yeah.
So it can get hefty.
So my friend told me, I can't remember the numbers, but it was in the hundreds of thousands.
Can get quite hefty.
Yeah. And so then my friend actually and then also the bride's fund actually wanted the money that day, during that negotiation, or during the week. So then my friend had to go and like get a loan for like the.
See, that's what those are parts for me where like I just don't agree. It doesn't make any sense to me because for me it just doesn't send the right message. Because end of the day, we can get the bank loan, we can get the hundreds, thousands, whatever, but the message you're sending to me is that I've made a transaction and I've gone through some turmoil or put myself through a lot for this transaction, and I need to get my money's worth from this transaction. Some people are not the best people, and to have that more over their head to be like, well, I'm already not a great guy, even though they might say they are, whatever. I wasn't already going to be the best partner, but now I'm really I really feel like I have a license to dominate this relationship because your dad made me take a loan from Standard Bank for 300,000 rand. So if I want to have, I don't know, if I want to have pop and gravy with spinach on a Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday, it must be done on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No one's gonna sit in that seat over there and what. Like it just the power dynamics that it creates, I think, are unhealthy. Personally, I think it should be sensible. Personally,
yes, I think so too. Can I continue my story about my friends negotiation?
Yeah, cool. Sorry.
So after they got to the number and they wanted the money, my friend didn't have that much amount of money on him, so they had to go to the bank and ask for a loan. And then when they were sitting down with the banker, they're busy explaining the story to the person doing the loan. The guy's like, hold on, let me get the manager, because that's a lot of money, your credit score isn't really there. And the manager comes, okay, what's the story? Explains the whole Lobola thing. He's like, okay, we have actually a special loan for you. And so apparently the amount of people who ask for Lobola loans is such a thing that it's actually that is a special Lobola. I don't think
I didn't know that.
It's not shown. I don't think it's on the website or anything. But I think if you go and they explain it's Lobola, they're like, oh, okay, we get it. They will actually give you money for the loan. And I'm not really sure what the T's and C's are, but it happens so much that people are paying so much money for the Lobolas that the banks literally know it's its own section of so it's you have your mortgage for houses, you have car loans, you have Lobola loans. But I think you only if you're in that culture you'll know about it. When I heard it, I was like, are you being serious? It's yeah. They literally have a whole section, a whole dedicated form you fill in a form for Lobola.
Snap.
It was a legit thing for Lobola loan. By the way, the negotiation was in Johannesburg. So it was a South African thing. So South African acknowledged Lobola loans.
Yeah. No, I can't bring myself to agree to that. I just don't even know how that makes sense for your daughter as well. How do you bring it into a relationship? A marriage might even be communal property with a dude that is 300K in debt from day one. It makes no sense to me. This guy is obviously going to penny pinch everything for the next few years. That's a massive loan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if your daughter doesn't have earning potential, then it just complicates things even more. Because how do you guys dig yourselves out of that? You've actually complicated her life because you want money. Because end of the day, it's her loan, it's her debt as well. Even if you're not, there are repercussions to going to the bank and asking for 300,000 rand.
Yeah.
If I ask for 300,000 rand and I have to pay it back every month, best believe I'm not eating Romans, I'm not buying McDonald's on a splurge or whatever, I'm not taking any unnecessary trips, I'm turning off my geyser after 40 minutes, I'm not using the electric blanket, I'm just going to boil water and get... everything changes. Your quality of life changes. So, as you can see, I have some massive issues with the way some people go about things. I don't have an issue with paying lobola. I think
be reasonable.
yeah. I think just have some foresight. I think maybe that's
Yeah.
also an
I
interesting
think you're
thing.
just hoping the family you're gonna marry into, that like your in-laws will at least be sensible people.
Yeah, it's just sensible and just understand that actions have consequences. And
Your girlfriend, feeling like your girlfriend watching this. Okay, making notes.
oh
How
lol,
much I can ask Kenzie for? Giving her notes to her dad.
lol. So, but yeah.
Shout out to Kenzie's girl.
So yeah, do you guys have like a dowry system in your culture?
Kind of like the whole gift giving for the
Oh,
wedding.
so the gift giving would be like that. But-
Yeah, that's kind of
okay.
it. But there's also, we also have the thing of like kind of like negotiations, but it's more in a playful way. So before the whole wedding actually happens, like the groom is meant to like drive from the groom's house to the bride's house and pick the bride up, and the groom's meant to go there with his groomsmen. And then the bridesmaid's actually meant to like block the door and not let the groom and the groomsmen in.
Okay.
And then it's kind of more like a playing game, and the bridesmaids would ask for money or ask for so we have something called red envelopes where we put money in. So red just means like what's the word I'm looking for, like good luck or just like blessings, but just like red is like Chinese lucky color.
Okay.
So you have to like give like money in these red envelopes to the bridesmaids. The bridesmaid like rules. The bridesmaids will ask you to sing, ask your groomsmen to sing. But basically, you gotta go through challenges and things, and money, or sometimes money's involved, and it's up to the bridesmaids to like let you in. But it's all done in good spirit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of made to just have fun before the grooms.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So we have that, but in terms of like paying beforehand, not really. Like there's not really like you actually would give gifts to the the bride's family from the groom's side as well, but it's also just more of a show off thing, just showing that the parents that you can take good care of the daughter. It's kind of like you're showboating your wealth a bit.
Okay.
So normally what you'll do is you will throw like a pre-wedding like almost like engagement party. And then there you will kind of like shower the other family with gifts. So you like feed everyone at the table, and then all the gifts is to the bride's family. Yeah,
Okay.
something similar like that.
Yeah. Now I wish I had more to tell you about the different, because like my dad's Tonga, my mom's Zulu. I don't know too much about the Tonga side of things. I'm not sure where the differences lie. I'm sure that there are some heavy correlations.
Do you have your fit ready? Do you have are you wearing traditional or you don't?
So for the traditional, I need to sort that out. My other traditional wear that I have, it's a bit small for me now. It's not that comfortable, and I don't want to be in it for several hours.
Yeah.
But for the for the white wedding, it's elegant with a touch of blue, and I've got that sorted out.
Nice.
That's going to be perfectly fine.
Cool. Well, I wish you all the best for the wedding. I see
Thank
the
you very
sun is
much.
setting, so we end the podcast here. Cool. Like, if you have any comments about like traditional weddings, or anything you want to add, let us know down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Peace out, guys. See you in the next episode.
Check you guys.